Hello guys, I know it's been a really long while since I last did one of these, but I've been kinda a bit preoccupied with other things. I mean, I know that I've had my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest to keep you guys holding over, but I've been a little bit busy since I finished my first year of college. For starters, I actually managed to get my learner's permit after putting it off for 3 years. And as of now, I am taking driving lessons, and I get a general grasp on things for the most part. And I've basically just been hanging out, though watching shows like World of Dance and The Loud House, so I've been doing that as well. I know that I was hoping that I wouldn't have put off reviews for Friendship is Magic for this long, but considering that I have to go back to college, August 27th, I figured that I should probably just tackle these last 2 episodes of Season 4 now, so that way I won't have to put it off, so then I can be at Season 5 by the time the new semester starts. And another reason for that is also because next Saturday is on the Discovery Family, the second half, or rather almost halfway through Season 7 is about to start. So as you can imagine, I am way behind compared to everyone else, so I need to tackle these last 2 episodes now, so I can worry about it later. There's also a lot of moments where I felt like I tend to get frustrated a bit in terms of my personal life, but other than that, things have been going fine. So, that out of the way, let's get to the last 2 episodes of Season 4, and then hopefully I can clean my hands of this, so that way I will have to worry about Season 5 when the new semester starts. This is Twilight Kingdom Part 1, aka the 2-parter that I consider not only to be the best episode of Season 4, and still is the best episode of the entire series. So, as I said, with all that out of the way, I'm using my Xbox to watch the episode, you're wondering. This is Twilight Kingdom Part 1, let's do this. So this episode starts at the Crystal Empire, where apparently Twilight has to be involved with the other princesses to involve some magical gathering of other important ponies. Oh, right. Hang on. Yes, Spike, we still remember the day when you saved the Crystal Empire not once, but twice, in fact. You don't kind of have to rub it salt in the wound.
I'm glad you all wanted to come, but I don't think it's going to be that exciting. I pretty much just have to smile and wave as the dignitaries arrive.
Yeah, so this is actually we're actually kind of in this point of the series where even though Twilight has been outscored in Season 3, it honestly just pops in the mind, what does Twilight actually have to do as an alicorn, and what is her purpose? And this episode actually addresses that problem. I mean, compared to Celeste and Luna, who raised the sun and moon, as well as Cadence, who also has to take charge of the Crystal Empire, Twilight just kind of seems to be more in the background. As she says, she's just the pony who has to smile and wave.
How exactly is that different than smiling and waving like not a princess? What's wrong, Twilight? I've just been feeling a little unsure about this. It doesn't seem that my new role as a princess equates to all that much. That's just it. You've got a real important role to play. You're so lucky when you don't see come to a machine and do things.
And that's actually kind of what happened. Oh, by the way, high flash entry. And we just see Celestia, Luna, and Cadence going up to meet the dignitaries as Twilight rolls down the banner, and in her case, she just smiles and waves. Yeah.
That was it? Princess Celestia had to come all the way to the Crystal Empire just to do that?
I agree, Spike. That is definitely not really the best way to do. Actually, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the word for it because, yeah, that was pretty much it. Just Twilight pulling on the banner and just smiling and waving, and that's it.
I mean, wow, really big and important.
Thank you. So, fast forwarding through the theme, so yeah, just to recap for this episode, Twilight doesn't have any purpose, and she feels like that she's just unimportant. And once again,
Your Highness, thank you for understanding my desire to keep a number of those privileges and confidential discussions to a minimum.
Of course.
and you didn't even bother to tell her those confidential information, she's definitely more trustworthy than a certain someone who's current in office right now and is pretty much making everything worse. But, okay, this is MLP, let's not bring politics into this. So Twilight tries to confront herself with the other princesses and talk to her about her purpose.
But your visit is already over. Oh, something wrong? I guess I just don't really understand why I'm here. Couldn't one of the royal guard have unfurled the banner? Having all four of us in the Empire to do so. Let the dignitaries know that their visit is considered an important one.
That's Celestia. Not to be rude, but it kind of feels like that only you, Cadence, and your sister were involved on this, and Twilight was just kind of brushed off to the side. So, I don't really think that that argument is invalid of using the four of you when really there was just only three of you talking to them.
Well, it gives me an opportunity to see my favorite crystal. And I've had this to all of it.
But
Well, if the Princess Luna races the moon,
and can save people from your nightmares.
you protect the Crystal Empire, and all I seem to do is smile and wait.
And thus we have to get in the song, which I have to fast forward because you know how stingy Hasbro has been with their copyright. So the song of Finding Purpose is a decent song. Again, my musical taste has really, kind of moved on ever since I've been watching RWBY, which, by the way, I'm excited for Volume 5 to come out. Anyways, I do get the song itself, because it's actually a good time that we actually see the princesses, all three of them, actually have their own, lyrics to a song. And while that sounds exciting, let's really think about this. We kind of heard Cadence's singing voice all the way back in Season 2, in his finale, and Celestia's in Season 3. So really the only new singing voice that we really got here is Luna. But that being said, it is still a decent song, and of course the imagery is amazing to show. As the song basically has the other three princesses assure Twilight of her purpose in life. And that she is going to find her own purpose, and she has nothing to worry about. So, while I'm not fond of the song musically, the imagery and the message behind the song really actually sells it for me. Even if they did have to reuse a couple bits of animation, but I digress. Yes. So after fast forwarding through a little bit more of the song, we head into a dark, mysterious alleyway where we come across a very gloomy atmosphere. And I gotta know how to figure.
Very sorry, you came out of nowhere.
So, let's break down this bit by bit. First and foremost, this is our villain for the finale of the series, Tyrek, who was already addressed in Generation 1 as a villain, and he is without a doubt the most intimidating villain in the whole series, and is a marked improvement over King Sombra. And raise your hand if you were one of those people when this episode first came out, you were definitely concerned for your safety and concerned for the main six after this scene. Because I sure as hell was. So, yeah, just by the eerie atmosphere and Tyrek's dark and completely scary depression alone, we also see that Tyrek absorbing magic also makes him stronger. And Celestia and Luna realize this from sleep. And considering by that scene, I'm inclined to agree with them. So then, and after the commercial break, we get a backstory of what the deal is with Tyrek. Maybe because it might have something to do with a bunch of high schoolers trying to stop a demigod with no face from taking over the world of stealing everyone's souls that was being led by an organization to cause said organization, which need I remind you, has hypocritical faith in murdering people. Still not over that. So yeah, basically the synopsis of Tyrek's backstory is that he and his brother wanted to take over the world, but his brother is like, wait, this is so bad after all, and Tyrek is like, screw you, we're stealing magic, and then his brother tells Celestia and Luna, like, brother is bad, he is evil, kick his ass, and then they banish him to Tartarus. And by a long time ago, you mean that was back in It's About Time back in Season 2, where you wanted to prevent the Great Disaster by bringing Cerberus here. That I did not expect. I think that's another thing I really like about this episode. It's the continuity ties in that are kind of like pushed in together. And, okay, that doesn't sound like sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that at previous actions that were done in certain episodes, could have left with actually lead up to further consequences later. So this is actually a nice nod I really like about this episode.
Now I'm starting to feel magic. His time in Tartarus left him very weak. He has just now gained enough strength to use his dark powers. But with each passing moment, he grows stronger still, and I know just the princess who can stop him. Yes, I'll find no Twilight. I'm afraid I must call in another to stop Tyrek's.
Why? Yeah. So instead of sending Twilight, who we've already proven had managed to stop an entire empire from taking over Camelot, they decide to send in Discord, who by this time we are still unsure of whether or not he has been reformed, or since Keep Calm and Flutter On, which, need I remind you, is not a bad episode. I had to get that out of my system. So yeah, Discord is going to be coming in.
Discord? Yes. I don't think that is a surprise.
What? Well, considering that you were the only one to actually take the time to befriend him and get to know him, that's kind of what we expected from you. And even though that he did give subtle hints in the Season 4 premiere to help Twilight, the others and him, given of his past actions, are not really trustworthy.
He can sense when there's a magical imbalance. The next time Tyrek steals magic, Discord will be able to track him down. So, what are you supposed to do in the meantime? Unless, of course, one day you need to smile and wait.
Hey, did! The episode said that, so I don't need to make the joke.
Well, where are you going? The castle of the two sisters. I'm not really needed anywhere else. Might as well catch up on some of my reading.
So,
You want some company? It has been a while since we visited the castle. Might be fun.
and by a while, you mean about 23 episodes ago. So they go to the... So they head to the castle of the two sisters. And speaking of which, Discord arrives via Mary Poppins style. And apparently, Discord has been keeping track of the diary that they found in the third episode, and surprisingly with some interesting bookmarks based on the main sex's colors of certain pages. Okay, that is pretty funny. And also, it is true that you actually you use magic. And the good news is, you're not going to use magic by cheating because the plot says so. And he also gives an interesting nod of basically Twilight's role as a princess too. It's a pretty solid burn. Oh, duh. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, I think it's actually kind of... I completely forgot about the chest. Considering that the last Chesky episode was back at Leap of Faith, which is like episode 19, the next couple episodes, it just kind of like slips through my mind. So yeah, getting back to the magical chess key, it seems that every one of the main six has managed to have their elements of harmony put to the test. Has to find someone to change their lives around to find a key, except for Twilight. So you've pretty much been stalking her the whole time, and I guess you probably overheard of Celestia's suggestion to bring you in to fight Tyrek. Well, then again, he is the master of disorder and chaos, so I really shouldn't expect much.
Will I ever learn the intricate nuances of being a good friend?
So, despite the rebuttal, he actually retrieves via Littlest Pet Shop style. And if you're wondering, yes, I have watched Littlest Pet Shop since Season 3's hiatus. Yes, and Discord leaves behind the journal all of the hints that I pretty much gave away beforehand. Oh wait, he actually leaves in the magical door. Well, considering that the chest has kind of been built up throughout the entire season, and there were certain episodes that focused on that, I can safe to say that the chest really is important, and we should probably figure out what's in it.
There's only one way to find out.
No, and Twilight actually takes Discord's suggestion to heart, but does a little bit of research, but comes up with nothing. So Twilight eventually doesn't come up with anything, but then she decides to look back on the journal and looks at the pages of Discord's markings based on all the past episodes, and we return to the Nightmare Fuel. how he managed to escape the first time, though we already know the second time. And by the way, I should also let you know that Tyrik's voice actor, once he regains all his powers, will be voiced by the same guy who voiced Unicron in Transformers Armada and Transformers Energon, as well as Crumplezone in Transformers Cybertron. Just thought I'd let you know ahead of time, because if you know that somebody basically voices is a gigantic robot that is the size of a planet and can destroy said planet, then yeah, we can probably consider him to be intimidating. So Discord handcuffs Tyrik.
I should have known you would want to have a quest reality yourself. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my friend. Just between two of us. It's mostly another show.
Oh. The face everyone makes every time they talk about MLP in front of others. But Discord actually ends up getting manipulated after having a But Tyrik decides that he should have the power all for himself. And this is where everybody points out that Tyrik's manipulation factor is actually very convincing and very compelling. He reminds me a lot of Starscream. Not Generation 1 Starscream, being Transformers Cybertron Starscream, of which that he is manipulated, and to remind you, is also the series where he actually does betray Megatron and manages to defeat 11 Autobots, and I'm getting off track here. The point is, Tyrik ends up manipulating Discord to have the power for his own, and we return to Twilight reading up on the journal, and she figures out what Discord was talking about. I wouldn't really say the hardest, considering that Granny Smith was about to plummet to our death. And you already know my feelings about that moment. So, yes, all the Rainbow Key episodes from before, Leap of Faith, Pinky Pride, Ain't Easy Being Breezy, Rainbow Falls, and Rarity Takes Manhattan are all brought up here to basically tell us of that the Rainbow Keys that we've ended up seeing were actually important. Well, to be fair, the Breezies were kind of being manipulative and conniving of faking their sickness, and Seabreeze was the only one who had to convince them to help try to do their best to leave, so they kind of had what was coming to them. And I mean, I remind you that since Rarity Takes Manhattan, we haven't seen Suri Pomel ever since. Unless they plan to bring her in a future episode of Season 7, but who knows? And of course, we're probably hearing the voice of Reason screaming in the background, "Why are you referencing words episode?" Yeah, I've been pretty subtle about my pot shots with the voice of Reason as of late. I've been very subtle about it. And of course, we also have to be reminded of Pinkie Pie's little excursion with Cheese Sandwich. Yeah, I'm still not forgiving you of the contradiction of what you said at the start of the episode, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Frank decides to return to the chest, where everybody brings the keys that they got from the episodes I mentioned, and we get, honestly, what I like from Pinkie Pie.
I don't think that's going to work.
And apparently the magic light transforms the object into a key. So, wait, why didn't they... No, forget it. Basically, we find out that the items that the other main 6 were given from the other episodes I mentioned all turned out to be hidden keys. And, of course, the only one left is the one that Twilight still has to figure out.
Nice. Oh, but I'm sure that if we've got Martin, you have too, Twilight. Thanks, Twilight. One of you could use this magical hat, and in doing so, encourage the other Sony to do the same.
Considering that I've reviewed every episode of Season 4 thus far, I'm gonna say... not a thing.
I haven't. If I had, I would have written about it in the journal.
Yes, you got a point.
I'm sure you'll get your key eventually.
And right on cue, Celestia tells Twilight to return to Canterlot, where...
Is it T-Rex?
I'm afraid I put too much trust in Discord and the effect that friendship would have upon us.
And of course, like the persuasion I mentioned beforehand, he summons T-Rex and betrays everybody. Betrayal!
Man, I thought he'd changed.
T-Rex has stolen enough magic that he now has the strength to steal flight as well. Without Pegasus to control the weapon, there will be no range in a question.
But isn't rain kind of a bit of a negative kind of thing? I mean, granted, you need downpours, but rain is not always the most exciting weather of the day.
Morty has gone after Earth Ponies as well. Without their strength, they will not be able to tend the land. Ponies will no longer be in control of their world. That power will belong solely to Kira.
And whose fault is that?
There's no doubt that T-Rex is after alicorn magic. With Discord by his side, he will not be able to stop him from taking it. What?
Yeah, by the way, Princess, I'm sure you probably would have predicted that much, that karma would come back to bite you in the ass. So yeah, because T-Rex has pretty much betrayed everyone, things are starting to look bleak, and the only solution and left is to basically have Celestia, Luna, and Cadence give all the alicorn magic to Twilight because T-Rex is not aware of her, ending part 1. And this is honestly a good way to start the episode. Honestly, I know I've been kind of a little bit nitpicky on certain things, but honestly, this is actually a surprisingly good way to start off the season finale. We have a villain who is actually intimidating for once. It does address a lot of questions that have been going unanswered, like, what is the point of the secret chest? What is Twilight's purpose in all of this? And honestly, and the twist that, honestly, while we did kind of see coming a mile away, it's honestly still surprising, and honestly, to think that everything that Discord learned just kind of erased. Yes. So, as a whole, I would say that Twilight's Kingdom Part 1 honestly deserves an A, really. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there are a couple of nitpicks I have here and there, but it's not really enough to ruin the episode, and honestly, this is a good way to start off the season finale. So Twilight Kingdom Part 1 gets an A. Alright, just one more. So next time, we will get to Twilight Kingdom Part 2, so that way I can finally clean my hands of Season 4. See you guys next time.